welcome everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, welcome. Thank you for coming, joining us for our opening night of our Blue Dragon tour in Southern California. So, with that spirit, let's all rise, and we're going to sing some songs together, led by Sarah Takar.
And everyone else on stage. Yay! While we're getting ready to sing, I want to hear, are you guys excited for tonight? Are you excited for tonight?
Yes!
So when we're singing, I want to hear everyone singing. It doesn't matter if you're the best singer in the world or the worst singer who ever lived. God wants to hear your voice tonight. Mother wants to hear our voices tonight. So please, let's sing together and make a beautiful offering to prepare for Reverend Dunkley and for this Blue Dragon tour to be an amazing start in LA. Can you guys do that?
Yes!
All right. So our first song is going to be Grace of the Holy Garden. It's a classic. I know everyone here knows it, so I want to see everyone singing, and I want to hear everyone singing. All right. So it starts off Grace of the Holy Garden. So, do you know how to do this? So Joshua, what does it start with?
It starts with a grace.
A grace, a grace, grace, grace. Grace filling me with golden light, measureless blessing. Okay, I know I can hear you guys more. Come on. God gives eternal light to me. Perfect rejoicing is mine. And glorious.
Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him. Triumphant, glorious love. Joy surging like an ocean wave. I don't see you being joyful. Let's smile and really sing. Oh, rises
As I go and praise, knowing that man will
be whole.
and glorious.
Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him.
Triumphant,
Glorious light.
high, limitless, eternal life, touching the top of the sky.
Praise
Filling every part of me, blessing that never
will die. Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him.
Triumphant,
Glorious love. You've chosen
me to do your will. Thankful I
vow
vow
to be true. I'm pledging
in my heart of hearts. Father, my life is for you.
Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him.
Triumph. Let's sing the chorus again. Really sing it out. Glorious.
Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him.
Triumph. One more time. Glorious.
Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him.
Triumphant,
glorious
gratefully.
Gratefully I give offering to Him. Triumphant, glorious love. Woo! Yes.
All right, so that energy was pretty good, but I know we can take it higher to a higher ground, and that's the next song we're going to be singing is Higher Ground.
Yes.
All right, so it starts with I'm pressing on the upward way. I'm pressing on the upward way. New heights I'm gaining every day.
on higher ground.
Woo! My heart has
no desire to stay
where doubts arise
and fears dismay, which some may dwell where these abound.
My prayer, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up.
Lord, lift me up and let me stand.
1, 2, by faith
On heaven's table and
3, 4, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet
on higher ground. I want to live
above the world.
though Satan's darts at me are hurled.
For faith has caught
The joyful sound,
the song of saints
on higher ground.
Lord, lift me up.
Lord, lift me up and let me stand. Let me stand.
My faith's on
Heaven's tableland, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground.
I want to scale the utmost heights and catch a gleam of
Glory bright,
but still I'll pray to heaven I found. Lord, lead me on to higher ground. Lord, lift me up.
Lord, lift me up and let me stand.
By faith
On heaven's tableland, a higher plane
that I have found. Lord, plant my feet. Let's sing it again.
higher ground.
Lord, lift me up.
Lord, lift me up and let me stand.
By faith on
Heaven's tableland, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher
One more time. Lord, lift me up.
Lord, lift me up and let me stand.
By faith on
Heaven's tableland, a higher plane
that I have found. Lord, plant my feet. One more time. Let's go. Lord, lift me up.
Lord, lift me up
And let me stand. Our faith on
Heaven's tableland,
a higher plane that I have found. Lord, you already know what I'm gonna say. Lord, lift me up. Lord, lift me up and let me stand. By faith on
Heaven's tableland,
a higher plane that I have found.
Lord, plant my feet.
On higher ground. Lord, plant my feet on higher
One more time,
ground.
Lord, plant my feet.
Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Woo!
Give your neighbor a high five. Give your neighbor a high five. Oh, God is in the building tonight.
All right. The splendor of the
King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice. Let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, and trembles at his voice.
Let's sing all together. Let's sing. Let's sing.
How great is our God? Sing with me, how great Through age he stands, and time is in his hands, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The God of three in one, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God. Name above all names, he is worthy of our praise. And my heart will sing, how great is our God.
Name above all names. Name above all names.
Name above all names, worthy of our praise. And our hearts will sing, how great is our God.
How great is our God?
Let's sing it out loud. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God. How
Can we sing it out? How great is our God? Show him some praise.
How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God.
Let's sing a cappella, a cappella.
How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God.
Beloved God, as we come together tonight, this is the beginning of our Blue Dragon tour and the beginning of an experience that we want to have together with you. So God, as we feel your spirit tonight, as we make room for all the negativity to exit the building and all of the great flow of your love and incredible spirit can come into 2301 Finley Avenue tonight, Heavenly Parent. And so we thank you, God, and we know that our true mother is fighting every single day and night. She's crying tears every day and night, looking for filial sons and daughters that she can trust and rely on. And tonight, God, I pray we can have an experience of transformation, Heavenly Parent, so that we can become that son or daughter that our true mother can rest easy knowing is here in Los Angeles, Heavenly Parent, here in Los Angeles, God. So please, with every heart that is gathered here tonight, God, I pray that we may feel, God, a special presence, God, as we receive the words of Reverend Damien and Yumiko Dunkley and their presence, as well as Denthu Leary, next generation leader. But God, most of all, it's each one of the incredible children that are here for you. Heavenly Parent, this is a new era. And God, I have to repent because even myself, most of all, I'm so stuck in what was, Heavenly Parent, and in the past. And maybe, God, we have amazing stories to tell. God, I feel how urgent our true mother is to build the culture of Chanyeolguk now. A culture maybe that we don't fully understand or we're not even fully comfortable with. But God, when we feel it, it's right. It's the feeling of family. It's the feeling of one family. God, that you dreamed of from the very beginning. The dream you had, that innocent dream. When you were raising Adam and Eve, that innocent dream when you sent Jesus, your only begotten Son. And that innocent dream you had when you sent the only begotten daughter to this world. With the dream that through true parents we could rebuild your family. And now, God, the gate to the kingdom of heaven is open. The settlement has been laid, and all that's left is for us to build it together.
Yes, God.
I pray we can feel that spirit of the blue dragon tonight, tomorrow, and in the days to come. And we can bring that all and stand in front of Mother and April and say, Mother, we love you. And not just in words, but in substance. With all of our heart, God, we offer this prayer and this time to you. With every prayer in the building, I pray all these things in Joshua Holmes. As a blessed central couple, I pray, amen. And let's give a hand to our worship team. And, okay. And as you're remaining standing, let's also acknowledge and welcome officially our presidents for Family Federation, Reverend Damien and Yumiko Dunkley. Woo! And we can keep that applause going as we also have our next generation department leader, newly appointed Denthu Leary. All right, please have a seat. Thank you, thank you. I'm a little loud up here. If we could lower up here a little. June, if you could lower up here a little. Thank you. Yeah, wow. Okay, I'm so happy to see all of you tonight, and I'm excited for what's going to take place in these next few days. Tonight's just the beginning. We're just going to whet your appetite tonight, and then we're going to have the full course. Well, what do you have? The full course on Saturday, and then we'll have dessert on Sunday. Does that sound okay? Hors d'oeuvres. Tonight was hors d'oeuvres. If you didn't catch that, tonight is hors d'oeuvres. Cheese and crackers. Thank you to the team that prepared, all of our incredible team back there and all around. Wave your hand. That's beautiful. So we have a lot of things in store and a lot of things that we want to share. And, of course, we have the blessing of having the Dunkleys and the Learys with us. By the way, Denthu is alone just for the moment. Yasmin, his wife, is coming tonight. So he's just half the man at the moment, but we'll get there. And so tonight we're going to be focusing on True Mother's Blue Dragon focuses. That's tonight. Then tomorrow we'll be stepping knee-deep into very special content on the truth of the providence. And we're hoping that this can be, for anyone who's coming, an experience of enlightenment, deep understanding, but also a depth of heart. We're trying to discover something in Mother's heart. And then based on that, I believe that we can be activated. I really believe. So we're not just driving the car in any direction, but we're driving it activated in the direction that our True Mother's hoping for us to go. There's always deeper we can go and deeper experiences. So my prayer for each person for this weekend is that we as one family, really as one community, Los Angeles, this is your family. Maybe you don't like everybody. It's your that's what makes a family, right? That as one family, that our heart can beat as one. That's my hope, that we can beat as one with Mother's heart. And maybe she's urgent, so maybe her heart's beating fast. But also I believe that Mother has moments of deep tranquility as well. And we have those moments of peace with her too, but we beat as one. We beat as one. Tonight is not about you or me or Reverend Dunkley or Yumiko-san. It's about us. Aju? This weekend's about us. And so we encourage you to grow close to one another in these next 3 days. You remember the good old days, the workshops we used to go to? How about we do that again? That's why we decided to sing camp songs today. we can grow close to one another in these 3 days. And I know we'll have more family join us, so you have to catch them up to speed on all that they missed. And it's going to be exciting. So we're going to walk out of this as a refreshed Los Angeles family, as a reborn Los Angeles family, and ready to take on all that True Mother is hoping and praying for us to take on and lift up an amazing spirit here in Los Angeles. Aju? So I think, in this new era, we're starting off with the next generation. Oh, yeah. Next generation. And that's where a lot of this fire and excitement's going to come from, and creative, maybe some awesome creative ideas. And I'm really proud that one of my brothers has recently been appointed as the first ever Next Generation Department Leader of Family Federation USA. He's also our Vice President for Family Federation USA. If you would please rise and help me welcome for an opening remark, statement, expression, Denthu Leary.
Thank you, Josh. Man, he says it so nicely. There's so much spirit and power. There's a lot of pressure. LA. It's my first time being here. It's exciting, yeah. It's exciting. I've gone to California very often. Yeah, I'm from New York. It's on the other end. Things are a lot different there, let me tell you. Your spirit here is quite nice, I must say. Yeah, I'm just here just to, get yourselves and get you a little interested in what's going to happen for the next weekend, or this weekend. And a lot has happened in the last few months for me. It's very difficult, actually, for me to say it in words, because there's always so much emotion and spirit and just new realizations and breakthroughs. It's very hard for me to keep it all together, and yeah. I think first off, I just want to say, you guys are very lucky. You have an amazing pastor couple. Josh and Takayo, honestly speaking, very lucky. We were just at dinner with Josh, and he was sharing, and all I could see is just the beautiful heart that he really has. This heart, he wants to take care of all of you. He wants to lift you all up. He wants to inspire you. He wants you to become closer to True Mother, to True Parents, to God, and it's beautiful. And honestly, it makes me feel like, I have to do way more. I have to take care of him a lot more. I have to really encourage the rest of all the communities to get on the same page as him, because he is on fire. And you guys are really, really lucky to have him and also Takayo, together as a couple. Yeah. So Reverend Dunkley always likes to tell a lot of stories. He often tells a lot of stories, especially when he's with True Mother and when they're eating cake. He tells a lot of stories about how beautiful the dessert is. And I thought that's maybe how I should start. And so, but when I was in Korea, we had this banquet, and I did have dessert, but I do not remember at all how it looks like. I just know I ate it, and it was good. I tried to look if I took pictures. I actually took a picture of all the empty dishes because I remembered I should take one for my wife to show, this is what I'm doing. And I forgot to do it before all the food was on the plate. So, so I had to go in a different direction for this and start somewhere else. But I think what I want to share is really what has been coming for me as someone who has stepped up recently, and my realizations of what is going on. Has anyone watched or knows Formula One? Yes, F1. Racing, car racing. All right, I'm a big fan. For the last 5 years, I've watched it diligently every weekend, the highlights. I don't have time for the full thing anymore. But flying over here, I was watching, they have the documentary on Netflix. And I was watching it, but it's of last season, so I know how it's going. I know what was going on. But then their 6th episode was called Leap of Faith. And of course, that gets me interested. I'm like, I'm a religious guy. What do they have to say about this? And I watched this, and I think it was a really beautiful metaphor. It's about Lewis Hamilton who is a 7 times world champion. He's from England. And yeah, it's okay. But incredible driver, thought to be one of the best drivers, especially of this age, And he did it all with this team Mercedes, right? That's the car he drove, right? Won 7 national or world championships with this car. But the last few years, he's been struggling a little bit. His skill, his desire, his passion is still the same. He really is top notch. However, the car just isn't performing. Right? They had the best car for a decade, undefeated. But then Red Bull came along and made something new. But Mercedes were so sold on how great their car was that they refused to change it. And this episode is about him trying to make that leap of faith, whether he stays with this car that has brought him so much success, or does he leave and try to get that last championship where he will be the best driver ever to have lived. And he's battling this, and they're trying to, it's all dramatized, it's intense. And for me, it was like, it's going to be a little weird. Tremother's like Lewis Hamilton, right? She knows what she's doing. She's the best, right? She knows God's heart more than any of us. And we are the car, all right? And we are trying our best. We poured out our effort, and it's a great car. It looks amazing. It has all what it should do. However, it's just not getting to where it needs to go, right? It isn't able to bring him to that finish line. We are struggling to really find what we need to change, what are the tweaks we have to do so we can really get to that finish line that your mother needs us to get to. And I struggled with this. I've been struggling with this for quite some time, as I'm sure a lot of us have. And I was really questioning the last few years. I worked at headquarters 4 years ago, and then I stepped back and just been working with GPA for the last 4 years. And I think a big thing for that was that I needed to take a little break because I was struggling a lot. I didn't understand why us as a movement, we couldn't break through. It's not lack of trying. We're pouring our hearts out, our efforts, every day. People are giving absolutely everything. Maybe some of us can give a little more, but a lot of us are giving everything, right? But still, we haven't broken through. We haven't been able to take True Mother to that finish line. And stepping into this role with Reverend Dunkley, I think it's the first time for me to really see a little bit of hope, where we have adjusted the car just a little bit. Right? We're slowly getting a little bit more aligned. We're able then finally to be this machine that True Mother needs, right? This movement that True Mother needs. That we can really come together, and it will only work if all of us in all our different parts and all our different areas really unite and can be just that one single movement, that organization that can support True Mother and really take her to where she wants to go, right? Not for her, but really for God, for our Heavenly Parent. And for me, throughout these last few weeks and months, being in Korea, it's so hard for me to really be and see True Mother because she is, she's tired and exhausted. And honestly, she's been trying to tell us, get us, into understanding how she wants the car to look like. But it's hard for us to get that and change it, because we feel like it's worked. But we need to start to adjust. And I think with what Reverend Dunkley's saying, this new truth of the providence, finally the Spirit is there. And I broke through really hard recently in my own life, in my prayer, in my understanding of this. I struggled a lot with the Chungshimon. It's not my thing. I'm going to be honest. Right? Everyone yelling. It was like, hey, you guys are very distracting. I'm trying to pray here. It's between me and God, and you guys are screaming your head off. Be honest. But what I especially experienced in DC last weekend, where we were doing that, but it was really this feeling that I stood there with my brothers and sisters, and I could just shout and yell with them, but also just live in that spirit and really finally stand alongside, or it felt like I could stand alongside your mother. And I want that for all of you. And that's sort of what, if you take that step, take that leap of faith, and open yourselves up for this weekend, you will have that experience. All right? So that's my experience so far. Hope it made sense. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for you all being here. I look forward to spending this weekend with all of you. And yeah, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Danthiu. And and also the imagery that you're giving us. I'm curious what we're feeling when we hear Danthiu share, and we hear how, it's mother wants, she's taking a leap of faith. She's taking a leap of faith with us. Sometimes she describes us as that small needle that she was searching for in the sandstorm. So I'm curious how we feel. Do you feel like God can, that your mother can be with us and make it to the finish line? We have some work to do, Reverend Dunkley. Do you guys feel that mother can take us to the finish line to win that final championship? Okay, so with that energy, I want to invite up now our president for Family Federation USA. He has flown all around, and he was just in DC, and now he's blessing us with his presence here in Los Angeles. So please rise and welcome Reverend Damien Dunkley.
All right. I want to go to Joshua's church. I want to go to Denthu's church. I'm really moved by our young, precious leaders, aren't you? Yes. So let's just, support, and really we also have to practice getting out of the way. When it's time to get out of the way, we've got to practice that too. God's doing something bigger than we can imagine. Do you feel it? I don't know. You can see this is coming? I can see it coming. Let me get this working. So tonight, I want to start with, frankly, a little bit of an overview. Some of you may have seen this. I want to start with where, also a little bit like what's IHQ trying to do and trying to convey, centering on True Mother, and where America fits in that. So let's see. Do you see that? Perfect. So what does that say? This speaker's really hissy, isn't it? It's white noise. It helps you with your ADHD, I guess. All right. So, Mother said, I don't have much time, but as I think of going to the spirit world, I'm looking forward to being able to take joyful memories of working together with you for the completion of the Providence. And that's something that we can imagine being able to contribute to, right? I know it might be hard for some of us to imagine saving 8 billion people in a couple years, or even 30%, or restoring Christianity. But can we be people who give Mother joyful memories of working together for the Providence? Yes. That's not something we do when Mother's in the room, or just in our end-of-year report. It's something we do with one another. So that joy starts here, Aju. So our joy working together as one, I think Mother will feel it. Mother really feels it. She can really feel it. So this is something we can do together with Mother. So let's look real quick. Some of this is just like, worldview providence, just so that you're up to speed, okay? So we're in the 12th year of Chernoguk. This happens to be the year of the Blue Dragon. And what did Mother say? She said, the 12th year of Chernoguk must be completely organized and orderly. Organized and what? Orderly.
Organized and orderly. Does everybody understand my English? Yes. Nihongo? Daijoubu desu ka? No, right? Hard, right? My Japanese is terrible. And my Janglish is even worse. This is the year of the blue dragon, which blows away all of the negative energy from the past. How much of the negative energy? Alles. In the following year, the 13th, the number of completion, we will hold the entrance ceremony for the Chonil Sanctum of the Chonwongung. Does anybody know what that is? Anybody not know what that is? Okay, we'll find out. As it is prepared and completed in all aspects, there must be no shadows. How many shadows should we keep, Reverend Thompson? None. Not even one. Many mistakes were made over the course of 2,000 years of Christian history as attendance to God became human-centric. Thus, the Reformation became necessary, initiated by Luther, consolidated by Calvin. That was 1543. Because Calvin developed a movement where pastors, elders, deacons, and believers united in attending heaven, the Puritans migrated to where? Miguk. Why? A land where they could freely worship God. How free do you feel in your worship of God? Completely free. Good. They first built a church, then a school, then their homes. Some others really reminding us about their sincerity. Father mentioned this many times. You know, you think that all Americans know this, but they don't. Right? We think everybody just knows this because this is American history, but it really took Father and Mother to pull out these, you know, the timeline of God's grace through human history. So beautiful. All right, so establishing a central nation and Chonilguk. Let's see. So this is the course of the emergence of a central nation under heavenly providence. So the Reformation initiated 1517, consolidated in 1543, and then a new world opens in, where's that? Okay, can you see what we're getting at here? Then with Father's birth in 1920 marks a 400-year anniversary of that initiation. And then with Mother's birth symbolizing the Reformation. And 2020, the firm settlement of Chonilguk on Father's 100th birthday. 4 major plans in the current providence. This is world level stuff here, guys. So first, these are the 4 areas that we're being led to understand. The 4 major providential focuses, okay? So first is the providence of restoring the essence of the Chonilguk and the Chonil scriptures, the essence. So actually, that's the very understanding of who we are, where we are, when we are, who's God, who's true parents, and what does it mean to us? Like, what is actually going on? And be just like, exactly like, you know, Denthu was referring to, we know, you know, we know very well who we are, what's going on, and we know very well the truth, don't we? But that can be our greatest enemy if we know too much, or if we stick to what we know. We need to really be reborn in this sense of what we know and what we understand. Number 2, the providence of the entrance into the Chonwongung and the Chonil Sanctum. I gotta say, there's probably not a lot of people that really, really deeply understand what Mother's doing with the Chonil Sanctum. I've done sermons on it, I've done research on it, but I promise you, even I barely am catching a glimpse of the real depth of meaning of what this means. But I can tell you, True Mother's really excited about it. It's like really hard. It's hard to build a temple for God. It's hard to build a building, full stop. I used to be in the business. It never goes right. But especially when you're doing it for God, you know, you can study human history, you can study religious history. Temple building for God, it's not easy. And this hasn't been easy for Mother. But she's so excited about it. I can feel. Like, can't wait. For God's sake. She's really excited. That's just, I wanted to share that feeling with you. And we you know, some of the senior pastors and myself were on the call last night, right? Was it last night? With Dr. Song, the International Family Federation president. And he let us know that just that day, so that was maybe yesterday in Korea, Mother visited again the main sanctuary, the Chonil Sanctum of the Chonwongung, and she goes around and she points out, what she wants to change and what she wants to adjust. She's really excited about it. I want you to know that. Kind of reminds me in some ridiculously very distant, analogy of wrapping a present for my father for Christmas or something like that. Like, I'd just be so excited to see the day that it gets unveiled, and then he can see it, and then just that feeling of offering up, It's almost like mother reminds me a little bit, even that spirit. Number 3, the providence for nurturing the younger generation and launch of Heavenly Top Gun. What? Can I hear it? Oh. And number 4, the providence of recovering spiritually through the Spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. And I'm finding myself having to let people know that these two things are not separate. In fact, it's not good when they're separate. We understand them as two things, two pillars, inner, outer. But actually, not only are neither sufficient by themselves, I might say that either one without the other can be very dangerous. Spirit without truth, you can really go far. You can go far, and it can feel good too. And truth without spirit, you can really know. And you can really beat up a lot of people with that truth. But with both together, unstoppable. I believe we're uniquely positioned, centering on the only begotten, centering on true parents. We're uniquely positioned in not only in the world today, but in human history, uniquely positioned to experience spirit and truth like never before. Are you? So we're going to go through in a little bit of detail these 4 things. Number 1, first, the providence of restoring the essence of Chonil in the era of the Chonil scriptures. This is the providential plan number 1, okay? This isn't going to be super, super detailed. This is top-level stuff, but it can give you an idea of what Mother's thinking. The blessed families of Chonil living in this era must teach about what? That will be the content of Chonil scriptures that can uniquely remain permanently. To do that, you must become one with who? 120%? One, what? True mother. Me, true mother. True mother is a representative of true parents. True mother is a representative of heavenly parent. Now, this is also interesting, side note. Sometimes I have conversations with people, and they'll say, yeah, we keep hearing about unity. Unity with me, unity with mother, unity with true parents. I think unity with true parents describes for me, and just let me play with it a second. Unity with true parents describes, it's true, we should be united with true parents. But it kind of describes the idea that we're two separate beings, first of all, to be united with. And also it's a little bit more, gives the idea of like an organization or a member of something, like following well, united well, right? Push yourselves, everyone. But I experience it differently. To become one with might be a better interpretation of what Mother's really asking for. To become one with, it's like you're becoming one. You're of the same blood, the same bone, the same heartbeat, one heartbeat. And it's a process, and we're all individual beings. But to become one with is not a duty thing. It's not a militant thing. It's a life-giving thing, completely life-giving. We should feel it. Becoming one, you don't need Mother to tell you that you've become one. You don't even need Mother to tell you, because you'll feel. Becoming one with true parents is a life-giving feeling. In the Chonil era, the only way to explain the essence of the Creator, Heavenly Parent, and the true parents is to explain the essence of. Make a note of that. That becomes the scripture of Chonil Guk. So let's take another look here. So Father inherits the mission in 1930. It's actually 1935, I believe, right? And then you've got the period of time leading up to the true parents' holy wedding in 1960. And I've heard Mother refer to this era as like when we talk about the truth, the teachings, the sermons, the prayers, all of that content was leading up to the holy wedding. This was like the truth, centering on the era of the teacher. Okay? That's what we used to call father, right? Master, teacher. And then, from that time, Holy Wedding, up until the firm settlement of Chonoguk, we have the era of the truth centering on true parents. We all remember that era? What we may not have realized is we're in a new era. The era of the truth centering on true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. I know what you're thinking. The name of the era is just going to keep getting longer and longer until we run out of space on the banner. But there's meaning to this. So there's like the era for the preparation of the Holy Wedding, and then there's this 53-year period of wilderness. That's most of our church life. And then there is the era of Chonoguk. So, Chonoguk's launched in 2013, but Mother declares a firm settlement in 2020, and we're substantiating that. But why this is being presented to you is that you understand there's these like 3 stages of the expression of truth towards the completion of the providence, right? You have the divine principle stages, the evolution of the divine principle, finally the exposition of the divine principle, which we all know very well. But since this new era, it's the Chonil scriptures that we should be understanding, and it's been taking a while to get to us. And I just want to tell you how incredibly valuable it is to be one with true parents when true parents need you to be one with them, and how much power you have when you're close to true parents to either speed up the providence or slow it down. And it makes sense, right? If you were an evil force of spiritual nature and you were trying to infiltrate, you want to get into the enemy camp, and you want to cut off communications from the commanders to the soldiers. That's the first thing you do. You try to cut off the communication, or give disinformation or misinformation, or gatekeep, somehow to put the enemy off. It's not really that we're talking the analogy of a war or enemy of one against the other. But the reality is that we are one people, one family, but we are our own enemies. We are ourselves individually, but also it gets really difficult. I'm telling you, it's really difficult. When you're serving close to true parents, the more you go closer to true parents, honestly, the more faith you need. Not so much just faith in true parents, but you need to have faith in the organization around true parents. It gets harder, because you see that true parents are dealing with the toughest of circumstances in their entire course with the very people that are around them. This is reality. That includes us. And so, it's really what I'm going to be sharing with this weekend, as I shared with you in the Rebirth Workshop. There are consequences to telling true mother, yes, mother, I like it, but I think I've got a better idea. There's consequences to playing that game. So I hope you don't mind me being crazy. If you think I'm crazy, I'm just trying to, I'm all in. I'm all in with true mother, and my only job is to minimize any gap that exists between you and true mom. That's all I want to do, okay? So please be one with mother. Okay, number 2, the providence. So this is about the Chonol Gung and the Chonol Sanctum. If you want to know what it is, you're looking at a picture of it right now. Now this was me, sneaking onto the, this was still a building site. This was before the dedication ceremony at night. And I was like, I want to see this place. And I went up by myself. So it was probably like beginning of May last year. And I just got some night shots. I got lots of shots like this, different kind of angles. But isn't that the moon was out, and that you can see the beautiful obelisk and the building out and lit like that. But if you look at the top left there, there's a crane. There's a crane up. There's like guys working on it 24/7 to try and get it ready for the dedication ceremony, right? And there was builders walking around like NPCs. I was like in a video game. I was trying to like hide behind the pillars, take snapshots. I don't know what I was like thinking I'd get kicked out, but I wanted to get those photos. Sorry, mother, if that was naughty of me. I just wanted to share the beautiful. Isn't it a beautiful picture? Got lots of nice pictures. So this is the Chonmon Gung. The Chonmon Gung is the completion of heaven's providence, the completion of human history, the completion of what? A new history shall begin. Through the Chonmon Gung, the completed model of Chonoguk is realized. We will create an environment where Heavenly Parent can act and do great works at will. Woo! As we move forward to the day of the entrance ceremony in 2025, which will be a celebration of joy and praise. In front of Heavenly Parent, I wish to spend the time in preparation so that God can receive the glory. Everything Mother's doing for God and wants it to be joyful. So what you're going to understand is I'm going to be explaining to you again how much Mother is trying to accomplish before we go in this building. We need to wash ourselves. We need to wash ourselves, and we need to wash our movement. In the upcoming Chonogok 13, the number of completion, the entrance ceremony for the Chonol Sanctum and the Chonwongung will be held. There should be no shadows in any of its aspects as it is prepared and completed. Adieu. Okay? So we're getting ready for this, and tomorrow I'll be sharing a little bit more. And then next, what about the younger generation and launching Heavenly Top Gun? True Parents Providential Plan 3. So look at these handsome young men. Yes. So, you know, we're really receiving a lot of love from True Mother to receive the Heavenly Top Gun missionaries. Don't you think so? Africa, Europe, Canada, and America. And I've heard a lot said about also, you know, Christian nations or English-speaking Christian nations also. You know, but our Heavenly Top Gun missionaries, they've received a lot of love, education from Mother directly. There's a lot that we can inherit from them. But consider also their situation, very young and coming to foreign lands and feeling like they're entering into, and I don't want to talk for them, right? But you can imagine they're entering into a lifetime. They're entering into a world of responsibility that isn't even clear yet what it is. And we're one. We're with you. We're with you. We're with you guys. We're with you guys. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be great. I feel so much love from True Mother to send them around the world. And, you know, it's part of their training. So that's time for them to grow themselves and help us grow the church. But it's significant in marking the beginning of a new era. It's the mark of a new era. And that's what's really happening in this event where Mother held this kickoff ceremony. And here Mother is bequeathing holy salt and also, what's in that little, that's the badge, right? Okay, so that's the badge and the holy salt. And so Shinchul and Shinhung together up on stage, receiving this from Mother. And there was one sister with you on stage. So the three of them representing the whole team and being sent out. And it's just been a matter of days. It's just been a matter of days. And just so you know, guys, we heard again last night that every morning, the first reports Mother wants to hear are your reflections. Like, how are you? You know, how are you and what's going on? So I'll just remind you again. I just heard last night. She loves just every morning. Like, that's the first thing. So Dr. Song yesterday, he said, well, yesterday it was like we didn't have any reports from the missionaries anywhere in the world. So I had to read Damien's letter. So I guess I'm a good backup. No, but that's it, you know. So I also talked about the missionaries in my report. And I also told Mother that we're getting excited to come to Korea in April. Aju? Aju. This is the first year, check it out. Through an official course, I'm sending out the second generation young people from the blessed families as missionaries to the world. This path will become a model path for young people in the younger generation around the world and will become the official course of our second and third generation members in the future. Official course, did you hear that, Ricky? It's official. And look at this. This is... Mother refers to this as the first Top Gun. This is like our first elite group. But look at this. This is 1975, and this is this year. Look at that. So you can see there's a 50-year, prep from like the first to the second gen, and Mother's pointing out the significance of this. It's a significant step in history. What is important here? This is her concluding words to them in February of 22. 2024, Feb 22, just a couple weeks ago. What is important here is that I believe in you and loved you. You are heaven's treasure. The problem is that while true parents are here on earth, we have to expand the environment of the kingdom of heaven. But I'm already past 80. I don't have many years. In preparation of when I go to heaven, you must become one with me and create the environment where we can attend heaven. Adieu. Adieu. Let's give it up for Heavenly Top Gun. Yes. Through the providence. Okay, this is number 4. So this is about spirit and truth. This is the 900th special evening prayer vigil in Korea. And I think we're just a few days away from the 1000th. I'm really tempted to get like a turnaround flight just to go and be there. It's going to be on a Friday. I guess I'm running a workshop on one of those days. But I really wanted to be there on that day. But spirit and truth. As of now, our unification community will advance under a 2-tiered system, right? So the Chonshim one is the internal. It must create the environment in which Chonshim spiritual leaders can establish themselves. This means that the time is ripe for us to go out with the spirit and truth. It is no longer sufficient just to deliver divine principle lectures. The spirit world must be under our dominion. Whose dominion? Do you need the pastor's permission? Do you need God's permission? I didn't really think that through before asking that question. You need God's anointing. You need God's blessing, both of which you already have. But you need God's voice. And that, people ask, why can't I pray in my car? You can pray in your car. I meet God in my car, under the tree, under the thing. It's just a matter of whether you want to drive the old Mercedes or whether you want to take the newly minted Red Bull. Red Bull? Or they're just the sticker? Who's actually building the car? Red Bull's building the car? Which country? Red Bull comes from Thailand. Austria. So still pretty close, isn't it? Germany, Austria. You should pray to True Father fervently at the Chonshim one. Now, I want to mention this. Why... Korea's doing the evening prayer vigil, right, Masataka? And we're doing a morning prayer vigil. Why? We're doing a morning prayer vigil because that's the same time in Korea. That's how it started. And in Las Vegas, every morning they do 2 hours. And every community does either 1 hour or more. But why did we start a evening prayer vigil? This is specific, especially to our purpose of church growth and witnessing. And the Spirit's different in the morning and in the evening. And Mother mentioned about speaking to the God of night at night and telling Father that we're coming. We're coming, Father. We're going to come see you there. And telling Father asking Father questions and asking Father for the power of heaven to be with you. So I think we go at night, we pour out our report from the day and our determination for tomorrow. And while we're resting for 2.5 hours sleep, the spirit world's busy getting your day ready for tomorrow, right? The principal content and lectures of the principle of the past. She's talking about the exposition of the divine principle is of the past. Now you have to pray to God to solve the problem. She mentioned in one of our closed-door meetings, it's like the leaders of this church have to stop expecting me to tell them every detail what to do. Go ask God. There's no excuse. Oh, but Mother, I don't know. I don't know if it's God's voice I'm listening. Go to the Chonshim one and pray. You must experience for yourself the unwavering root of faith. It's not something you should even waste any time listening to me about. It's something only that we can experience. And as we experience it, we help one another experience it. Right, Joshua? Right, Takayasa? It's something that we open the gateway to the spirit world to flood down. Even those of us who are more physically open start to vibrate. So let's look at the Death Valley Salt. Isn't that a nice picture? Mother offered a prayer there. Your children are ready to expand heavenly providence. So Mother's really, she's in the lowest place of the hottest, most miserable place in the continent, and she's surrounded by beautiful white snow. It's a salt. And she's comparing this salt, which, if you understand, the salt, when you go to Death Valley, and I've never been, actually, I still haven't been there, I need to go. The salt is all mixed in with the sediment, the dust, right? When it rains, everything gets separated. And then when the water evaporates, the salt lifts to the top as pure salt, separated from the dirt and the grime and the sand. So what does that tell you? What can you start to understand what mothers may be thinking in terms of using this salt and taking it from the lowest, most miserable situation? You can find the most pure, the salt of the earth. That's this idea of finding the righteous people. Mother talks about it. Through these righteous people, nations that serve Heavenly Parent will be established. And if this time can be advanced to be realized in 24, we desire to embrace the day that leads us towards the entrance ceremony. By the way, we have to put in Chonwon-gung. Because if Mother says entrance ceremony, she's not referring to anything else other than what she's really excited about. It's the Chonwon-gung entrance ceremony. Heaven will prepare to receive glory. This ceremony will be a feast of praise before you, Heavenly Parent, honoring your long-awaited patience. What's Mother feeling? Let's find the people who have been prepared. Let's find the people who have been prepared. That means when you think about, our church loves talking about finding the prepared people. I remember hearing this all the time. Oh, you have to find the prepared people. How do you find the prepared people, Kevin? You've got to be prepared. They're already prepared, by definition. You find the prepared people means they're already praying to meet you, praying to meet me, praying to meet us, praying to hear about us, praying to learn something new about us, praying to find the truth that we have to offer, the Spirit and truth. Do you believe that? Yes. Because we have to believe that and see that. That's our preparation. That's our preparation. She concluded her prayer. Heavenly Parent, today in this Death Valley, we, your children, the salt of the earth, desire to expand your realm through the efforts of those who respect heaven. May such righteous, salt-like people arise abundantly in this country, this continent, and all over the world. Bless our efforts, Heavenly Parent. Aju? Wow, let's give True Mother a round of applause. This is a big blessing. Would you too like to have some of this precious Death Valley holy salt? Yes. So for all those who attend, you'll receive it, I believe, tomorrow or whenever Joshua Holmes and Takayo Holmes have it ready for you. I've brought it for his couple to give to you from True Mother. And Mother he'll teach you what to do with it. But Mother wants us to bring this with us when we're witnessing. Keep in your mind. There's a few things here. You can see these 4 points, right? So, it's about finding righteous people. And like finding this salt is like even in the lowest place, even in the worst place, we can find the righteous people that have been prepared. And when Mother visited there, the salt was as white as snow. And then this salt was bequeathed to the regional presidents and Heavenly Top Gun participants. And this is a picture of the regional presidents receiving it. And it's an odd number right now. We've got an odd number. We've got to do something about this. Either we've got to divide one of the continents again or create a new continent, because this is a weird picture. I've just tried to keep Mother in the middle, and Africa's now right on the edge. Makes me feel uncomfortable. All right. What about America? Where does all of this fit in for us? Do you know what our American mission statement is? Can you recite it? We will build a heavenly world of peace by raising up humanity through the 3 great blessings and restoring all humanity to their original status through the teachings and blessings of heavenly parents, of true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind within the 13th year of John L. Cook. Did you write that down? I'm just teasing ourselves. Many times a mission statement is supposed to be really specific. And so it's supposed to articulate how you arrive at the vision you're trying to get to. But I used to love them. And I started to find myself feeling that mission statements kind of feel a little bit obnoxious. That's just me. But I think it's also like the timing of things. So we did do some work on our mission statement, and it's very easy to remember. Okay? I think of it as a mission masthead. You know, a masthead is like what you've got on your, it's like your call sign, right? God's dream, one family. Can you remember that? 4 words. God's dream, one family. Building a nation of peace, love, and compassion is like a tagline, but this is like public, but internal you might say, bring Christianity to the only begotten daughter. Or you might say, spirit and truth with the youth and young families. All of these things are connected. It's all what we need to do to realize God's dream, one family. Aju? So we were just recently in Korea, and Mother called a few of the American leaders into her abode. And as Denthu pointed out, yes, the story starts with cake. And Mother is really like being vulnerable with us, letting us see and feel her deep anguish, urgency, vulnerability. And so we're all seated there in the same room I described to you before, in her living room. And I told you before, when you have these special kind of quite intimate meetings with Mother, they're really nice. They serve you tea or coffee with little chocolates or little things you wrapped, But I promise you, I've never seen anybody drink that tea or eat those chocolates. Like maybe on the way out, one of them will be like, it's Mother, We don't eat it because like Mother's right there. And usually like Mother's not sipping at it. Unless it's like in the bigger room and she's got the table, so it feels weird to just be like, Mother's talking about the end of the world and we've got 5 minutes to save it. And you're like, Mother, sorry, Mother, what did you say? Sorry, do you mind? Sorry, Mother, just a second. Excuse me, do you have any more milk? Just another drop if you don't mind. You worry about creating that kind of environment. So, but Mother really wants you to enjoy it. So we walk in, and we're all like, stiff-necked men with ties on. But Americans are awesome, really. I love America because I really feel our American team, I really got to say this, I'm looking left and right at our American team. There's like nobody on that team, I promise you. There's nobody on that team that wouldn't like just stop what they're doing, stop, drop, and roll, do whatever Mother says. Fly to the other side of the world, change jobs. Okay, you two swap. Okay, you there. But not because we're like ambitious. Oh yeah, I can. No, just like you really feel these are sons, and you wish their wives. You wish our wives could be. You wish our wives could be with us, because I always feel when we go to these leaders' meetings, I'm not afraid of Mother. I feel uncomfortable amidst all of these men in suits. But I got to say, I want to give a shout out to our American leaders, our American members. It's a real honor to work with you. I feel the sincerity of our American leaders. I really do. And I've now had a chance to work with many people around the world. And I won't say anything other than that. I'm really proud to be with you. Thank you. What we felt in this meeting was Mother really trusts us. She trusts you. She needs you. Currently, the weight of response. Okay, this wasn't the first words out of her mouth. The first words out of her mouth were, please enjoy the special strawberry cake that was prepared for you. Right? And I'm right into it. Like, yep, let's get in there. Like, I know I've been through this before where I thought I wasn't going to eat the dessert. Got to eat the dessert, And sipping on the coffee and dessert. And, this is the Korean strawberry cake. It's not like the British strawberry cake or the French strawberry cake or the American strawberry cake, which is literally like a ton of sugar and buttercream. This is that just lightly sweetened, double whipped cream. Like it's got a nice half inch of whipped cream on top with the fresh talgi. These Korean strawberries are really good. The Korean strawberries, they know how to make cake, all right? So we did enjoy the cake. But I'm always afraid when Mother starts talking about, enjoy your cake. Because it's like, uh-oh. What's coming, But she said, she kind of like, she's like, it must be really tough for you to be working with me, carrying the burden of the providence, right? you all bearing this burden alongside me, it must be truly heavy. Thinking about the future prospects of the United States seems truly challenging. It reminds me of the circumstances of the 1970s. Now, this was, I can't remember, this was an hour meeting or so or more? I don't remember, Inga. But I'm not like reading all of her words, but I'm going to share with you just some highlights. And this was kind of a central theme of the whole meeting. Mother's concerned. You know, she hears the news, she sees what's going on, and she's concerned about America. And she said, it's reminding me of the church of America in the 70s. It's reminding me of America in the 1970s. And that's interesting. And she said, I need your help. Become one with me in this golden age of the Providence. Become a prestigious family. This is the first and last time in human history. So I was thinking about this. You know, there is a lot that's similar to the 1970s. It's like things are so crazy that it's like almost obvious, like that's not the right way to go. You know, it gets to that point. But, you know, Kevin, I was thinking, it's like, you know what else was going on in the 70s? The church was growing in the 70s. It's also the last time, pretty much, that we had American leadership leading the church in America. So there's some other parallels going on, right? So, but Mother's not sitting there going, oh, it's fantastic, it's like the 70s. She's burdened by this. And so there's this sense of vulnerability that she's conveying, letting us know that she's really concerned and she needs our help. All of the men in that room, when we walked out, they all felt that same thing. It's another form of love. She wasn't like dumping on us, saying, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's not like that. She's opening up just a percentage so that we can see. You know, Mother never wants to like cry in front of us, and you know, but she's letting us know how important it is. And we felt a lot of love and trust from her in that sense, right? Here's a few bullet points. This is a warning to America. Check it out. America cannot fulfill its responsibility if presidential candidates are ignorant of heaven's will. America cannot and must not just act for its own interests. From the outside, America might be considered a nation that lives for war. America needs to know the essence of Jesus. America's responsibility was to create an environment for the Lord of the Second Advent. But false ideas and family breakdown have been severely threatening America. Situation reminds me of the 1970s. These are my paraphrased sentences of things she was saying, okay? And not necessarily in this exact order. This is paraphrase, okay? America did not fulfill its responsibility to keep Korea intact as one nation. True Father needed to embrace Christianity and create a realm of preparation for the only begotten daughter. I had to take responsibility for anything that was lacking. Will heaven's will materialize if I'm gone? Your attitude and determination must become one with me. Should we give up? No, we can't give up, right? We need to educate American citizens as soon as possible. All right? So this was just a few days ago in Korea, and there was one day that I had a kind of a difficult day, and it brought me to a place of really just praying. It was a relational thing in terms of work, and it brought me to a place of just really emptying my ideas. And my final 3-minute prayer in the Chonshimwon before leaving Korea to come back to America, like, because I already knew what I'm coming back to do. But I prayed as if I had no idea, and really, sincerely, like, God, what am I doing? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, can you imagine? Right? Tomorrow, Mother says, okay, you're responsible for America. And then you think you know what that is, and then you start looking at opening all the report, all the files, looking at all the, oh my God, what this too, I'm responsible. What about that problem and that problem and that problem and this goal, and really? it's wise to go into that humble state of prayer and just let up whatever you think you've got your ideas. Like you're given tasks. You all relate, right? You're given tasks that are way beyond your capacity and your skills. It forces you to be humble to God, right? So that was my final prayer. And very, very soon, in those 3 minutes, I was like this. And very soon I was brought to tears. And a very simple, like this must be the simplest conversation I've ever had with God. And it was unique because in this time it started with words and ended with images. But from the beginning to the end, it was carried by a feeling. And I've put all of that into one statement in words so that I can convey it. This is what I experienced for America's sake. God said, "Tell my children I love them. America is my nation, who I prepared to meet the only begotten daughter. Christianity has been waiting for this time. Come, tell my children I love them, and it is time to come home and fulfill that for which I blessed you." So the image was so simple because it was like, oh, what God was telling me was, God trusts America. Just like Mother was trusting her leadership team. God trusts America. Just like Mother was trusting us as her sons. God trusts America. With all of this, like if you watch the news, you couldn't imagine that God exists at all. But I had this moment, I just wanted to testify to you, American people. I had this moment in Korea in the Chonchimon, the final minutes, where God gave me this deep, comforting, total convicted, like victory is inevitable. You understand what inevitable feels like? It's like almost autopilot. Like God, but because of Mother and because we're here, and because the very purpose, every cell of this nation, the very DNA of this nation was built for this. And although we've survived up until this point, Naoko-san, we didn't know what this was until right now. This is what's really blowing my mind. This theme is blowing my mind, and it'll probably come up again and again over the weekend. How much this is blowing my mind. It's like we've been driving that Mercedes for eternity. We know how it works. We know what's going on. And then we just found out we're driving the wrong engine. And we haven't even tested the gas on the new car yet. It's like, you know. We haven't even popped the clutch to see what it's capable of. But I felt in this prayer, God just embracing America like this, like a child. It's like, don't worry. It's almost like God was saying, you are my son in whom I am well pleased. It's like we're just right there on the cusp of it, and God knows it's going to happen. That really comforted me, and I don't know how to convey it to you. But that's what I'm trying to convey to you. God is not even distracted by all the problems, because he knows exactly what this country was made for and exactly what's happening next. And it was like, I just saw this vision. Christianity, only begotten daughter. Making that connect. So, growing the church in the era of Chonilguk. So, what is our providence? How does America fit in? Okay, this is it. Grow the church. When Mother was here anybody go to Vegas? When Mother came to Vegas in October, she met with all of the ministers, then she met with 1,200 youth, and then we went upstairs for lunch, and she asked me to pray, and then she asked me my reflection. And my reflection was, Mother, there's going to be a lot of people that say a lot of things about why such and such is victorious. But I tell you, it's your word. Your love, your word is the root of all that is about to happen that is good. It's like I was telling Mother, don't believe anybody else. I was kind of speaking in code. It's going to be nothing other than your love and your word that's unlocking everything that you're longing to see. No matter how great our leaders might present things, that's the point I was making to him. By the way, sometimes I speak to Mother in code. I guess maybe some people do that. I don't know if everybody does that. Because it's not like it's just you and mom going for a walk. You know? But mother said, she said, Damien, it's difficult for me to come here. But the reason I came is to tell you that I need to bring the president, you need to bring the president to bow to me. I put in here, greet me. But bow to me. We need to grow the church in order to lead America to fulfill its responsibility. So, restoration of the Christian realm, restoration of the civic realm, and all of this depends on us to grow. She's very clear. Damien, you need to grow the church so that we can accomplish this. What do we need to do? But we're going to be growing a church that we want to be a part of. That's what Denti was getting at too. Right? It's not doing what we did before or doing them to bring them to what we've been doing in the past, but actually creating what it is that we want to be a part of according to Mother's heart and guidance. And this statement here also kind of blew me away. America, this is what she said to us up in the meeting. She said, America is the shortcut for God's providence. That means we do have the power to send God on another long and lonely, tiring, boring, painful course. But America is the shortcut to God's providence. I think we forget how incredibly powerful and impactful we are in America. We really do. I see it. We completely forget it. Just go live overseas for a while, deal with reality, and then take another look. Right? I always say it, right? Remember what I told you? The story about when I asked all the African leaders, what do you need from America? Do you remember that story I told you? Denti said, I love telling stories. This is one of these Chonoguk leaders meetings. And it was like 2016, and I was thinking, oh, I really want to help like the other countries. What do they need? Like money. And so I asked like 10 different African leaders, how can America help? Like, what can we do to help you? One of them said, you know what, it would be helpful if we could get some laptops, even used laptops, because the schools have allowed us to teach our true love education, and they've got a massive problem, epidemic of like teenage pregnancy. They just don't know. They just don't know. Like, if we educate them, they'll figure it out, but they just don't know. There's no education there. So, but we don't have enough laptops to like do it at the schools are open to us, but we can't be in all places at once with only 1 or 2 laptops like this. That was their problem. But that's the kind of answer that I was looking for, actually. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, let's talk about that, you know. But all of them gave me the same answer when I asked them, what can America do to help you? And they looked at me as if the question was strange. They puzzled. They said, like, he said, Damien, what we need from you in America is we need you to break through. Because if you break through, we can fly. When you rise 1 inch, we can rise a mile. How can it be that the nation that was prepared for this, blessed for this, and that has been graced by true parents' direct love, support, and education for 50 years, if you can't break through, how the heck can we, with our, like, you know, civil wars and dictatorships and all this kind of crazy stuff we're dealing with, right? If you can't, but if you can grow, if you can break through in America, the rest of the world will explode. And I get it. I get it. That we're human too. And we're suffering too. And we're like dragging our broken limbs. And you know, my God, how many, like if we look, one more battle. On the youth call last night, I found myself explaining it this way. It's like I was laughing. It's like, I get it, guys. You know, we're asking the youth, you know, hundreds of youth to come to Korea. And it's like, I get it. It's like we're in a battle. We're in. You know, you've seen those World War II battle movies where the stone walls are all crumbled, and it's like you've got soldiers climbing over like barricades of stones and broken, you know, And we're great, we're bleeding, we're grazed, we're bruised. And you've got the leader like off his head shot, and he's like climbing his helmets, or he's just scrambling up over. The dust is still settling, like there's snipers in the towers. You don't know what's coming next, and he's like coming over, and he's trying to speak to the soldiers on the other side of the thing, and he's saying like, "It's okay, guys. We got it this time. It's gonna be okay. we can do it." And you're like running out again over the landmine. Like, how many times are you gonna believe that guy? I think that would be funny. Like, what would a war movie look like with a platoon leader like SpongeBob? Because SpongeBob is like the most optimistic cartoon character I've ever met. Like, he's just like nothing. Like he lives in that world where anything. Okay, we can do it. Yeah, one more time. Okay, one more time. Imagine. That's probably what unificationist church leaders must look like sometimes. Like, really? You want us to follow you again? And we look back in history and see how many broken limbs and body parts of our family members. I get it. We're human too. But I also have to say that it's really painful. It's really painful going out into the world and coming back into America and seeing that our problems, which are real problems, like we've got really bad first world problems. Remember, Timothy told me, when I was trying to argue this point with Timothy, we're living in Thailand. See, Timothy? See how hard it is for the Cambodians? See how hard it is for the people in Laos and Vietnam, and these people have real problems. Doesn't it put things into perspective, Timothy? It's like all we've been worrying about our whole lives is first world problems. And Timothy's like, yeah, I know, Dad, but first world problems are still problems. He's exactly right. They are problems. But there's really ultimately you gotta understand that, like, no matter how bad you think it is for us, it's like there's so much with what little we have, with what little we can do, it means so much more for the sake of the world. And there's some magic in that, and because it's what America was born for, So I'm excited to be a part of an America that's maturing out of the teenage years. It's like we're going out of that era. I mean, I don't, but we need to look beyond. But at the same time, I want to be a part of a community that's really loving and forgiving. We're all traumatized. It's like PTA. That's why I'm painting that picture of like the soldier, He's clearly injured, and he's telling you, it's all right, we can do it, we've got this. But it is a matter of time. What did Mother say? I'm over 80. So sitting in front of True Mother, I bring it up. Whatever the problem is that's stopping you from changing and getting into the Red Bull machine and advancing with a sense of urgency, like try imagine yourself explaining to Mother whatever it is, because Mother's very clear. Grow the church. Beloved Mother, okay, so we gave the money with some of the money that the youth offered to Mother, we bought a beautiful opal necklace, okay? And as I was going up to give her the gift, I started to research about the opal. This is an opal that Yumiko found, and it's not just, usually opals are beautiful from one angle, but this is beautiful from 360 degrees. So when you look at an opal, it looks like you're looking into a galaxy or something. It's like got this depth of colors going in, even though it's like a gem, it's like a stone, but it has depth. And this is mounted in a spiral strand of gold embedded with diamonds, very thin, and it's suspended, so you can wear it in either way. It's beautiful from all angles. And so I was researching, like, what is an opal? I don't know what an opal. I'm researching an opal, and it takes an opal of this size, I realized, takes about 6 million years to form. So as I was giving Mother the gift on behalf of America, I said, beloved Mother, an opal like this takes 6 million years to form. It was harvested right here in Nevada. I think it was even close to Las Vegas, wasn't it, Mama? So I said, this opal has been waiting 6 million years to meet you. It has been longing for this moment to be worn by God's only begotten daughter. And Mother really, I think she got a real kick out of that. And she was wearing this kind of colored thing, but the next day she wore an all-black blouse. the next day. And she said, I wore a black top today so that you could really see. So she wore it every day, you know. This is us taking a picture with her. And this is us sitting in front of the fish tank. What she's saying here is, she wants to build Aqua Garden also in Vegas and New York. So this is a cafe. And in the cafe, there's fish tanks everywhere. And she said, you come and sit in front of the fish with your coffee or your tea, and you just sit and you watch the fish. And it's healing. It's healing. Everybody say, healing. Just take a... So even though mother is urgent, part of what it is we need to hurry up and do is learn how to really ground ourselves and feel the embrace of Heavenly Parents' love and embrace one another with that love. She said the red fish is my favorite fish because the red fish always comes to swim in front of me when I sit down. And you can see it just making its way over. We're having lunch with her. This was to bring Mike Farris to greet with Mother and the other business leaders. And then when we sat down, I noticed that Mother was wearing, hidden amongst the flower garden of her blouse, not against a very easy to see black shirt, but hidden there was that very same necklace. And so I said, Mother, you look so beautiful today. Particularly, your necklace looks very beautiful. And so what did she say? I wore it for you. She wore it for America. Isn't that beautiful? So this is, you can feel Mother's love. Can you feel? Bam. Restoration of the Christian realm. I want you to reveal the truth of heaven. She wants the Christian leaders to act and work as if they are children of true parents. Not the spiritual true parents, but sons and daughters of true parents. Christianity is a top priority to go to the church. So we need to bring the highest religious leaders to open the Chomongong. Getting the memo? And what about raising the youth? This is what she said in October. Understand who you are. Clearly recognize your identity. Pure water. Don't be distracted by your surroundings. I love you. You are my sons and daughters. So, I'm not going to go long into this, but, you know, Denthi and I had lots of conversations while we were together in Korea. And one of the topics that we were touching upon is how second generation kind of need assurance. You know, it's like, okay, I want to step in, but, you know, is this, like, are you sure I'm not going to get sniped or going to stand on another landmine? Because I tried it before, or I saw my sibling try it. Like, you know, they're you know. And then we talked through a little bit more, and we realized actually even more than assurance, it's ownership. Because an owner is not waiting for assurance, actually. Assurance is important, but you've kind of got to give yourself the assurance, in a sense. That's ownership. An ownership, the buck stops with me, and it's like you're going to see it through no matter what. That's an owner, right? But even more powerful in the case of our second generation, we talked it through and we realized the most powerful idea for second generation to get their head around in terms of what's the most important thing, Gabby, for second gen to grasp. We went to Mother's words directly. Clearly recognize your identity. Because if you as second generation understand your identity, then ownership is a given. Right? So to understand your identity, you need to understand a lot of things. You need to understand Heavenly Parent, you need to understand true parents, you need to understand true mother, and you need to understand Jesus. So we get to all of that. Where we are so far, I just want to get through this quickly. This is just all the stuff we did last year, okay? And the beginning of this year. And here it looks like in a Gantt chart. You know, especially to do with education, we hit the ground running. I didn't wait. We hit the ground running. Truth of the Providence 1.0. Everything was on the whiteboard. Remember that? That was mother's words on the whiteboard. But all of these things we've been doing simultaneously. But in terms of education, but you can see in terms of truth of the providence or sharing True Mother's deep words, there was a pause in October because I was told that we're coming out with, IHQ's coming out with the education. So we're working with that education also. But look at what we're doing this year. Okay? So we're right now here. And we're dividing our timeline into these sprints, right? So right now in month 1 of sprint 1, right? And so we're in the Blue Dragon Tour. Can you see that? We launched the evening prayer vigil. Do you see that? We've launched our strategy. We've prepared for 2-3 months for the Heavenly Top Guns, selecting the communities. You don't know it. It wasn't just a lottery. It was a lot of discussion and preparation. And then we're receiving the Top Gun missionaries, and the Top Gun missionaries are witnessing. Let's give them a round of applause. We got them in the house. And we start the evening prayer vigil and the Blue Dragon Tour with the aim to be able to go to Korea with our youth and our new members to sing True Mother a song. Had you? That's what we want to do. And then look at all this we're doing with education. So right now, Truth of the Providence 2.0. That means you get the whiteboard show in a PowerPoint format. And so I want to be able to share it with everyone, and all of the lectures from Korea. Everything's going to be offered. Okay? All right, so next, I just want you to know, it's Chonchimon and Family Fed are one. We are one. We're working together as one. And we're revealing the truth of the providence. We're not holding back anymore. And we're substantially witnessing. Especially with a focus on youth and Christianity. Aju? We've chosen 10 strategic communities to lead the breakthrough in church growth. And LA is one of those communities. Do you accept the mission? Does LA accept the mission? Yes. All right. And we're dividing our time into 7 campaigns through 2025. What did Rick Warren say, Kevin, about campaigns? Rick Warren, what did he say about campaigns? You grow your church, you grow through campaigns. If we get into kind of departmental mindset, then everything starts to kind of teeter out. You got to have a clear plan. What's our goal? What are we doing this month, this 2-month period? Right now, do you know what our campaign is? Do you know what it's called? I'll give you a hint. Blue Dragon. And what are we doing at the end of this campaign? With who? More than that. More than that. Okay, all this other stuff, okay. You're bored of PowerPoints, I get it. What are we going to be doing? We're going to be doubling or tripling our church. We're going to be tripling church attendance, all these things. We've set some goals for each community. Okay? You're going to be hearing about all of this. This is a presentation I'm sharing with you. It's actually really the leader's presentation. What did God say? I love you, my children. So we're in the Blue Dragon year. I'm going to give you a real top view look at the strategy. We've selected these 10 communities. We're working with Christian partners. We're sending our HTG missionaries to these communities. And we're dividing our time into these 7 sprints. First sprint, think about it. I gave the leaders a very simple option, right? We played with it. Would you rather fill Madison Square Garden, which we've done in less than a month, actually, let alone 2. Would you rather fill Madison Square Garden for another rally or fill your church with new members? So that's where we are now in the first sprint. So this is what we're doing. We're activating. We receive the Heavenly Top Gun missionaries. We started the Blue Dragon Evening Prayer Vigil. We're registering and we're witnessing and activating witnessing, and ACLC clergy all being activated, and the Blue Dragon Tour workshop. This is what's happening. You're receiving the truth of the providence, special great works, the best Sunday service ever. You're going to get the bequeathal of the purple Chonchimon jacket and the bequeathal of the special Death Valley Holy Soul. All that's happening right now. And then we're going to continue to educate our members and bring all of this fruit to Korea. Aju? So this is what we're seeking to do. Why are we going to Korea? Why are we doing all of this? I want to change. I want to drive that new car. I'm not trying to distract you from what you're doing locally. I'm telling Joshua, when you come to Korea, you're bringing your people. You're your group's group leader, you and Takayo-san. Right? Isn't that cool? And so whoever's coming from LA, you're going to stay together with the LA team. And you're going to have that experience with all the other communities' people as one. But you're going to be with your team, building your strength to come back home and do something you never imagined possible. Are you? So please, elders, support the youngers. You can help. You can donate a little bit. You can support them with their ticket money and stuff like this. Okay? Can pray together and support. Mother will be really, really moved. Do you think that Mother is expecting the Shin Top Gun missionaries to come back so soon to Korea? I don't think so. She's get off for 2 years. Don't come back until you've got some fruits. Well, let's bring some fruits. Aju? There are people prepared, and usually it's us that get in the way of seeing it. Really. Especially because the world that we're stepping into is really kind of nice. The community that we're stepping into is like, it's the one that we've always wanted. Who's going to make it? We are. How are we going to do that? Becoming one with Mother. The only thing you have to worry about is how much can you be one with Mother. Is everybody ready for me to finish? So far I've been 1 hour and 7 minutes. I was given 75 minutes. I've done 67. You want me to stop? Because we're almost there at the end. So local responsibilities. This is what I'm telling the leaders. Look at this. So look, in preparation for the tour, set up the evening prayer vigil. Activate the members to attend. 100% of you should be here. So I'm really grateful for those of you that are here. And I use it as an opportunity to improve the environment. I'm looking forward to the day when I come into this church, Joshua. I think we should raise a special holy fund for the new carpet of the LA Family Church. Now, as much as I love this carpet, because it reminds me of a grandmother I used to know in a bed sit in 1983, South London bedsit grandmother I used to visit once or twice, and she used to have us over. She had potpourri in the corner, and those stale almond treats she'd bring out. I'm telling you, we can take up this carpet and donate it to a local senior center. They'll love it. But I don't know that this speaks youth and newness to me. This doesn't look even, this isn't Red Bull or Mercedes. We're talking like, Model T. Am I, forgive me. I was raised for a few years in Europe. This looks Italian? Doesn't look like any Italian I've ever seen. Ma che cavolo dici questo? This is not Italian. We don't use carpet. Mediterranean is a wonderful climate. Improve the environment. So I was told, Joshua, you did something here. What was it that I was supposed to find? We fixed the ceiling! What's next?
We have a brand new stove that the members pitched in.
Wow, a new stove. So are we cooking too? Is that what we made our hors d'oeuvres with? I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm asking, like, during a campaign, it's about growing your church. Instead of getting all buses to go to Madison Square Garden, it's about doing the things we need to do together to make our environment internally and externally better. Like an environment that Mother would be proud to come into. Okay, so you understand. And we're witnessing. So everybody should be witnessing. Bring someone every month, at least every one of you, no? Yes. That's 3 people. Good. Okay, it's a start. And you've got your specialty teams that are activated, but all of us should be doing it. All of us. And we want to increase our giving. And I've asked all the leaders, if more money comes into the local community, it's not for me, a headquarters, for you. And if the money goes up, I said, please invest it into the youth. Invest it into the youth. Invest it into the environment. Make it a community and an environment that you're proud to bring people to. Isn't that what we want? Guess what? You're allowed to do that. You have my permission. You don't even need my permission. And prepare great Sunday service. So all of this, Blue Dragon Tour, that's what we're on now. This is a picture. I like this picture in DC. This is just a shadow shot of the youth praising and the evening prayer vigil. And this is the Blue Dragon Tour, so you know all about this. And the evening prayer vigil, you know all about this. Here's just a little taste. Washington, D.C. is one of the most, very, how would you say? In terms of the, this isn't good. How do I say this? Okay, let me just leave it at that. I'm talking about in terms of environment, when we think about spirit and truth, right? When you think about, wow, that place is hopping. The first thing that comes to mind is not necessarily Washington, D.C. on a Sunday, okay? Our church there. One thing that's really beautiful about the Capital Family Church is how diverse. It's so beautiful to look at. You've got the best blend of colors. But there's a spiritual weight. It's the capital of the country. It's the political capital of the country. There's a lot that they're having to restore there. And under the leadership of Dr. Ashil, they're doing an amazing job. And because I asked, please focus on Chonchimwan and give the keys to the car to the youth and see what they do with it. Let's take a look. Oh, I've got no sound. Is there any way to get sound? Can somebody help me get sound? Huh? What do you think so far? Sound. Coming out. Output. HDMI. Let's try it now. Good everything. So it's bubbles, balloons, and babies flying everywhere. Nobody knew what was going on. This is Sunday service last week in D.C. This kid never saw a balloon before in his life. This is like the end of service. It starts off with wait, am I allowed to clap? Am I allowed to feel happy now? Sometimes we feel like that. Is this legal? True parents are watching. So sometimes we have spirit. And then sometimes we forget that we're allowed to bring that spirit into the next thing that we're doing. You know what I mean? So the night before, that's why you heard Robert saying it. The night before, they're all kind of getting edgy about, okay, we've got to do the best Sunday service ever. And we just had this amazing evening prayer vigil that was totally spirit-led. And I reminded Robert, it's like, Robert, everything's going to be fine. Just lead it with the same spirit that was leading the evening prayer vigil. It's the same thing. Oh, no, but it's got to be all stiff and no. Lead the same way. And you've got a great thing going on in LA, but you've got to believe it. This is a big change for DC. So let's give them a big round of applause. They did a good job. Let's give it up for true parents. All right, so I'm going to conclude with one short video. And this is loving in the era of True Mother's Embrace. I'm going to share a video with you that I posted to Facebook, and I don't know, I think 150 comments, 135 comments or so. Of those 135 comments, there were 2 or 3 that referred to my singing. But 99% of the comments were exactly what I feel when I watch this, which is mother's love, mother's love. And so sometimes you don't get to see these kind of like behind the scenesy kind of moments. And so that's what I want to share with you. And this is for me like loving in the era of True Mother's Embrace.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be wrong of me if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, mother, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. I'll take your hand, give my whole life to you. I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, true mother, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. I'll take your hand, I'll give my whole life to you, for I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you.
This is your homework. Heavenly Parent, Jesus, true parents, true mother. What do you need to understand first? What did you say? What do you need to understand first? Heavenly Parent, right? Who says Heavenly Parent? Raise your hand if it's Heavenly Parent. Okay, raise your hand if it's Jesus. Raise your hand if it's true parents. Raise your hand if it's true mother. Okay. So you have to think about it, Because already Mother told you in slide number 3. Mother is saying today that America needs to understand who Jesus is. We need to understand who Jesus is. If you want to understand Heavenly Parent, can you understand Heavenly Parent without true parents? So then surely Heavenly Parent can't be first. You have to understand true parents before you can understand Heavenly Parent, right? So we start here, right? But no. This is our biggest issue today. This is our Mercedes problem, because we think we understand Heavenly Parent, true parents. But we can't understand true parents without understanding true mother, who she is as the only begotten daughter. A lot of people say, why are we getting all caught up in the only begotten daughter? Isn't true parents more important? You cannot understand true parents without understanding this. This has been our biggest predicament and delay in God's providence over the last 6 decades. But how to understand true mother's essence? This is all essence. Essence. We have to first understand the essence of Jesus. If we understand the essence of Jesus, then we can understand who true mother is. If you understand who true mother is, then you can understand who true parents are. And it is true parents that finally unlock the gateway for humanity to become one with Heavenly Parent. America, it's time for us to understand the true essence of Jesus, understand the true essence of true mother. The rest will take care of itself very quickly. Adieu. Thank you very much.
Let's give another round of applause to Reverend Dunkley as he's pouring out his heart for us. Please have a seat. Before we take a break, I want us to give us a moment to just take a moment to digest what we received from Reverend Dunkley and sharing these focuses. He started with the world, he brought it to America, and he left us with a song and an incredibly important question that prepares us for what we are to receive tomorrow. So please, with just one person next to you, take a moment in just a minute or two to share your inspiration. Share your inspiration with the person next to you. Maybe 30 more seconds. 30 seconds. All right. Thank your partner. Give them a high five. Great. So, again, tonight's is just the beginning. Tomorrow, Reverend Dunkley is going to go through each of these pieces very in-depthly, going one by one and unpacking this history of our providence, of God's providence, and helping us to clarify what is our Chunyaguk understanding. Our Chunyaguk understanding in this era that we're in now. So please be prepared as we start tomorrow, 7 a.m. with breakfast for everyone. You can come and have breakfast. Yes. Continental breakfast. He's been making jokes. We called it hors d'oeuvres. So you can come and have continental breakfast and a cup of coffee. But we're not done tonight. We're going to take a 10-minute break. It's 9:04. We're going to come back when you hear the drum. When you start hearing the drum, that means it's time to come back. Trust me. So, Ryujin, hit that drum for me. Ryujin, hit the drum real quick. Hit that drum. Trust me, you can hear it. You're going to hear it. It'll be louder than that. Next time, it'll be louder than that. And then we will begin our evening prayer vigil, our Blue Dragon evening prayer vigil, which we've been having every single night for the last few nights. So get excited. 10 minutes of break. Let's come back prepared to pray and have a great experience tonight. You don't want to miss it. It's an amazing moment that you can have with God and with our true parents. We'll be back at 9:15. Thank you. Hey, June, we can switch to Chonchimon. Let's all rise and let's begin by singing Grace of the Holy Garden. 시작. Grace filling me with golden light, measureless blessing divine. God gives eternal life to me, perfect rejoicing is mine. Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumph and glorious love. Joy, joy surging like an ocean wave, flowing so deep in my soul. Hope rises as I go in praise, knowing that man will be whole. Glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumph and glorious love. High, 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 limitless eternal life, touching the top of the sky. Praise filling every part of me, blessing that never will die. Glorious, glorious the song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumph and glorious love. You've chosen me to do your will, thankful I vow to be true. I'm pledging in my heart of hearts, Father, my life is for you. Glorious, glorious song ringing in my heart for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumph and glorious. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumph and glorious love. Let us begin now our 278th day of Chonshim-1 evening vigil. And let us offer a bow to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 천진 참 부모님께 경배. 바로. We'll now recite the family pledge in Korean.
가정맨세 1. 전일극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연 당을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지산 천국과 천산 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 전일극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 환정권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천산세계와 대산적 지산세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가족으로서 천을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일극 중 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일극 중 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천일극 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 법정으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지산 천국과 천산 천국의 해방권과 서방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
I'd like to invite now the assistant pastor for Los Angeles Family Church, Kengo Kawa, to offer our opening prayer.
Our dear Heavenly Parents, our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Jesus Christ, we are thankful, Heavenly Parent, as we are welcoming this Blue Dragon Chuncheon Evening Prayer Vigil, Heavenly Parent, as we want to respond to our true mother's calling. Respond to her, telling her, this is America, this is Los Angeles, this is your sons and daughters saying, yes, God, we want to attend you, we hear you, we respond to you, and we want to follow through on your will, Heavenly Parent. So thank you, Heavenly Parent, for allowing us to offer our sincere devotions here at this time, here in this evening, Heavenly Parent. We will defeat the midnight, Heavenly Parent. Please, God, allow us to see the victory of the sunrise, Heavenly Parent. Allow us to see the victory of this year, 2024, Heavenly Parent. So we want to see, Heavenly Parent, a shining year, Heavenly Parent, not just for our entire Providence, God, but for every single person to be shining with brilliant light, Heavenly Parent, to be enlightened to the next level, Heavenly Parent, to say, Heavenly Parent, that we are closer to you, just as Mother wants us to get closer to you, just as our leadership with Reverend Jamie and Yumiko Dudley wants us to get closer to you, closer to our true mother, closer to our true parents, and closer to you, our Heavenly Parent. We want to repent, Heavenly Parent. I repent, God, for how much I couldn't understand your essence, God, your essence, our true parents' essence, our true mother's essence, and surely our Jesus' essence, Heavenly Parent. So, but please, Heavenly Parent, allow us to call you, call our true parents, call Jesus Christ, call Hyojinim, Hunjinim, Daimonim, all of our good ancestors now, God, for we need your help. We need to move the spirit world. We want to mobilize the spirit world so that, Heavenly Parent, we will see victory, God. Just as our mother has been trusting America, we want to make it a shortcut to the kingdom of heaven, Heavenly Parent. So please, Heavenly Parent, allow us to find new strength, Heavenly Parent. Especially, Heavenly Parent, our mother entrusts us with the heavenly Top Gun missionaries, God. Just like 50 years ago in 1975, God. We saw the Spirit. We saw the church growing. We saw the movement of our true parents. With all of the blood, sweat, and tears of all of the early members, all those heavenly Top Gun missionaries. We see it now in the 50 years later, God. 2024, Heavenly Parent, with our heavenly Top Gun missionaries too, Heavenly Parent. We pray, Heavenly Parent, we will support them. Mother, you can feel assured we have their backs, God. We will be with them. We will be victorious together. So please, Heavenly Parent, please, true Mother, feel assured, Heavenly Parent. We want to comfort you. We want to be right there with you, Mother. We want to ease your pain, Heavenly Parent. We want to make sure, God, there's no ounce of pain or sorrow, of a longing or of a distance, Heavenly Parent. We want to bring back everybody, God. Those that become distant, those that are new, Heavenly Parent. No matter where we come from, God, we want to be with you, God. We want to be together as a family should be, Heavenly Parent. So please, Heavenly Parent, allow us to feel that kind of spirit, God. We need the spirit. We need the truth. Please, Heavenly Parent, allow us to call on you, Heavenly Parent, like we never called on you before, God. We must hear your voice. We must hear your guidance, God. We need, Heavenly Parent, if we want to bring any kind of victory, God. We want to make sure, God, that we ask the question, what do you want us to do? What do you want America to do? What do you want us to do to serve the world, Heavenly Parent? So please, Heavenly Parent, allow us to be humble, surrender to you. Call out your name. Call on your Spirit, God. For Heavenly Parent, we want to awaken the Spirit now, God. So that Heavenly Parent, all of America knows, all people of Heavenly Parent know who is the essence of Jesus, who is the essence of our true mother, the essence of our true parents, and of course the essence of you, our Heavenly Parent. There will be no shadows, God. Nowhere in this world, Heavenly Parent, who does not know your name, and especially know of your heart, God. So please, Heavenly Parent, allow us to engage that heart. Allow us to go into a deeper realm, God. To clear out everything, God. To be humble, surrender to your love, God. So that, Heavenly Parent, we may see your presence. We may hear your voice. And we can surely be filled with divine love, God. We've never experienced before. So thank you, Heavenly Parent, as we offer and lift this Spirit now. As I pray and report this in my name, Kengo Kawa, of a blessed Central family. Aju.
Let us receive now our Chunchimon worship team.
Brothers and sisters, let's rise our spirit. Let's offer our strength to our Heavenly Parent, our true parents, and for the Mother Nation Japan.
welcome to our Blue Dragon Evening Prayer Vigil! Yes, thank you. God is here. Please have a seat. And also give a round of applause to our Chunshimon worship team. Tonight we will have one testimony, a specific testimony that Takai and I have been so moved by. It's especially, we've gotten a chance to grow very close to Uncle Nate's, Reverend Nate Winman. And I want to ask Soon, can you bring out the podium real quick? Yeah, I think it'll be more comfortable. Thank you. And we've also had the opportunity, I feel, Uncle Nate, we've had a chance to grow closer to Mother together. It's kind of been this journey ever since you were in Korea all of a sudden. And we're hugging in Korea because you were certain that you had to be there for this day, or of how Mother is moving and discovering this deeper relationship with True Mother. So, that is the wrong podium. That's not it. Is this enough? You have a notebook? This is, you have something to hold on to. So, let's please invite up to share his Hyojang testimony, Uncle Nate Winman. Thank you, Sue. Yes.
Thank you so much, Joshua. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Nice to see everybody. It's very dangerous. Joshua brought up a podium. Oh, thank you so much. It's dangerous because usually when I get behind a podium, it doesn't end for a couple hours. I probably, even though Reverend Dunkley set up very nice for me, I probably won't stand behind the podium if it's okay. Is that all right? Yeah, thank you. Heaven asked me to give a testimony tonight, and I've watched testimonies in the Chumshinwan service in Korea. Inspiring miracles are taking place in Korea through these amazing prayers. As we know, almost 1,000 days in a row. We've had beautiful testimonies here in our prayer meetings. And usually they're testimonies of victory testimony, how I got victory. But I don't have a testimony of how I have victory right now. I can give you some old history victory testimonies, but it's not appropriate for what we're doing right now today. And so instead of a victory testimony, I guess the victory for me is I'm 75 years old and I'm here right now with all of you. That's my victory here at Chumshinwan Prayer. I want to thank our elders, spiritual elders, coming home to Los Angeles. Reverend Thompson and I joined church together in Camp Mazumdar. We're Mazumdar babies. So Southern California is our spiritual hometown. And I first met Reverend Dunkley when he was organizing youth choir in San Diego. So he was got everything moving in San Diego many, many years ago. And it's beautiful to see where both of you have developed and grown over these years. And I want to, as a way of starting, I just want to thank Reverend Dunkley especially and Joshua and Takayo-san because they really have been my lifeline to Mother. And so let me back up a little bit and tell you a little bit who I am so you can understand a little bit my situation or what I'm going through now in my relationship with True Mother. I joined the church about 48 years ago, and my first 24 years I did a lot of principle lectures, divine principle, and I joined, at the time I was a 27-year-old Marxist atheist Jew. So some of you have been Christians. I know whenever I was work with Reverend Henning very closely, and he was a seminary student. He was on his way to become a priest. And I was the exact opposite way of becoming a priest. I was getting as far away from church and religion as possible, but not away from righteousness, not away from goodness and family and really solid family values that my parents gave me. So, again, when I joined the church, at that time I was not an atheist anymore. I was a Marxist agnostic, because atheism is too hard to defend. But agnosticism is you don't have to defend. It's not important whether God exists or not. Anyway, I wasn't very spiritual, and I joined because of divine principle. Divine principle just caught me and gripped me and kind of tore me to pieces and put me back together. And I was a graduate student. I already had my master's degree. I was married, 27 years old, but the principle, I just said, it humbled me. And my first love was in the principle. Principle introduced me to God. God got me open to Jesus, and in Mazumdar, I kind of received Jesus, and Jesus at night would testify to me about Father. It was a very interesting way I joined. But I don't usually have spiritual experiences, and I'm a stubborn, I'm one of those stiff-necked Jews. That means when I'm going in a direction, it's hard to change, but I can go in a certain direction forever. And I also have born in the year of the ox, same nature. Ox just forever, power, strong power, just keep going straight forever. And so 24 years, most of what I did in the church was divine principle education. And I was really a child of Father. I really loved Father, and because of love for Father, I would do anything Father asked to do. It was really simple. Life was very simple then. It was impossible, but it was simple, because Father would ask us to do impossible things. None of us had the ability to do that, so the only option was to pray desperately. So what we're experiencing now in this dramatic Blue Dragon Chumchinwan prayer, that was daily life for us in the 70s and 80s. The only way to survive is we prayed like crazy and loud and screaming, and just to survive and accomplish what we could. So after being a missionary for a number of years, year 2000, I came back to America with my young family, and I kind of started all over again here in the LA church. And for a while I was education pastor here. I did some principal education, but not a lot, and during that time. But I taught mathematics here for 20 years. And a couple of years ago, I knew I was getting close to retiring. Oh, and then when Father passed away, that was a huge shock for me. The year before Father passed away, it seemed like he's going for 120. Everyone who was around at that time, Father, so vital and so enthusiastic, so energetic, so many plans, so many things happening. And then the last few months, suddenly Father kind of became an old man before our eyes. And then before we knew it, Father was in spiritual world. And it was quite a shock for me. And when Mother had her 3-year quiet period, me spiritually is kind of also a very quiet period spiritually. So then, I came near the end of my 20 years of teaching, and I knew I'd signed up for 20 years with my wife, agreed I'd teach for 20 years, and then the last year I was getting ready to come back and get more active in the church. And Reverend Tengam asked me, just before I retired, asked me to start a project, and that was the, forgot the name of it now that we're doing Hyojung Nuri, but that's the brunchin, the Sunday monthly thing. And I really wanted to get involved in the church some way to use the abilities and talents I had at that time to help the church in some way. And so I started working on reestablishing a Sunday tradition here and Sunday school with Carol. And then when I heard that the Mother was going to open the palace, God's palace, I knew right away. I was just retiring. I would be available to go to Korea. And I hadn't been to Korea for almost 20 years. And I said, I'm going. As soon as I heard about it, I said, I got to be there. And I started talking to Reverend Tengam and asked if he could somehow arrange for me to get invited. And anyway, barriers were put up. It wasn't easy, but I said, I'm going. I'm going to be there. I know I have to be there. And Spirit World started working on me at that time to help me kind of rebuild my very kind of active, fervent life of faith. And so things worked out. Miraculously, my wife decided to plan in April of that year a family reunion in Japan, bringing all of our relatives together. So then our family went to Japan, and then Mia and I went from there to Korea for the grand opening dedication of Heavenly Parents' Palace, where I saw Joshua and Takayo and surprised them and greeting them. And then after that, we started hearing rumors that the leaders were hearing this content, new content. And we started hearing we're old wineskins. So I started looking in the mirror, seeing I'm almost shriveled up, an old wineskin. What do I need to do? I have to make my wineskin new for some new wine. And at 74 years old, it's hard to make a new wineskin quickly. And but I said, okay, let's do it. And so last year, the beginning of the year was quite interesting. I set a goal. How could I resurrect my life? What did I need to do? And I felt my prayer life was very weak, so I need to improve my prayer life. So my goal was keto last year. I'm going to work on prayer. This is 2023. And then soon after making that determination, Heaven sent Joshua and Takayo-san here to our church to become church leadership. And I have no idea why, but one day Joshua said, Uncle Nate, we're going to start a prayer meeting in the morning. Can you come 6 o'clock in the morning? And I said, yeah, okay. And he said, just come when you can, as often as you can. But I felt it's not Joshua asking me, this is Heavenly Father, saying, you made a goal to pray this year, and I'm going to help you. So through Joshua and Takayo's invitation, then I came here and we did a 21-day, 40-day, we did a 21-day prayer here, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want to miss that. And I felt Joshua and Takayo just came. They want to build something seriously for this church and prayer foundation. And so I came every morning, and then my prayer really became alive. And then at the end of that, I didn't know why we're praying, just we had our prayer meeting, and it really brought me back to life spiritually. And then Joshua explained we're going to open the Chumshinwan. And that upped my whole prayer game a whole another way and level. And then the Reverend Dunkley started his tour, came to here and gave us, finally it was time for the new wine to pour in. So at least I got a little bit of flexibility in my old wineskin, a little bit to receive something. And for someone who is really dedicated to Father, I knew Mother. I didn't have a lot of experiences with Mother. But I really joined Principal and then Father and Let's Go Out. And really, our church at that time, we were fighters. It really was wartime. And we were soldiers. And that's how we did the church. We ran our church. But the new wine was I was ready to be shocked, and it was quite surprising when I finally heard some of the new ideas and some mistakes Father made. And I remember the evening, Reverend Dunkley, after giving a lot of the guidance, said, talk about it, discuss, and we had a kind of an old white man's table next door. And we started talking about all kinds of questions. This and that. It was a very energetic meeting, and then finally we couldn't solve it, and we invited Reverend Dunkley to come and sit with us and talk a little bit. And but still, I'm with the kind of these, my group, my team here, the old white guys from the 70s and early 80s. And then after that, before we came back into the chapel, I went into the Chamchinwan to pray. Just a quick prayer before we came in. And just I started to pray, and immediately heaven told me, just said, don't worry about the details. Don't worry. And it just everything, the questions and wondering and how does this fit, it just like that. Just don't worry. Oh, I don't have to worry. Nice, I'm free. So I stopped trying to use my rational mind to understand and put it in perspective and just receive and just try to make that relationship with Mother. That's the key now. And since then, I've really grown and developed, and I've had my own insights, and I want to, I've used up all my time. I want to conclude with this my conclusion where I am right now. I haven't come all the way, to become a second gen, the pure water. I have a lot of old water, old stagnant water I still have to clean up, and I know I'm first gen, and it's okay, I don't mind. I'm willing to keep working on it, and I'm happy to. But just since you know a little bit about me, the principle was so important to me, and then one of the guidance that we got was, don't worry about the principle, just creation, creation, mission of Messiah, and true parents, right? And that's all we need. And the rest of it, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So I was trying to think, okay, how are we going to do it? What should we teach? And I was trying to work with Takayo-san and Reverend Kengo Kawa, starting our new principal lectures. But still, that principle is really deep in me, the divine principle. And so the way God speaks to me is really through the principle. That's our common language. I don't have a lot of clear spiritual experiences. I know this is spirit world, but I know God's voice when he talks to me through the principle in principle terms, when he's talking to me. And this isn't, I'm not going to tell you anything gospel now or new truth or anything to write on the whiteboard, and I should say everyone turn off your recorders and that stuff, so there's no misunderstanding. I haven't checked it out with anybody, but this is how I came to where I am right now with Father and Mother and Nate Winman. And I realized with first generation, as I said, we joined the church really principal and father. Father was in the forefront, and Mother was just completely supporting Father. Mother's always there supporting Father. And we were at war. And that time was really, Father used the principle. We're the first generation, we're the Jews in Egypt. And the Exodus story is my favorite from the Bible because Moses he's my hero. And that's who we were. We're the Jews in Egypt in slavery. That's our first gen. And with the principle, God was able to mobilize us. Father is our Moses, and he could get us to give up Egypt and go in the wilderness with him. And that's what we did. We entered a 40-year course with Father. And as you know from those of you that know the Bible or the principle, Moses led the Israelites to the edge of Canaan, but then couldn't come in. And I thought it was really strange in 2012 that Father passed just before he announced Foundation Day would be happening soon, and then went to Spirit World first. And I couldn't put it anywhere inside myself, make sense of it, what happened. And then with the new wine we've been receiving, then Father said to me, Nate, how do I make sense of it for myself, that now Mother is in the position for me of Joshua and Caleb from the Bible, that figure. And that's the people who had faith in the wilderness who are chosen to lead into Canaan, the land of settlement, which for us now is Chanilguk. And so while Father taught us how to survive and be victorious, defeat every enemy in the wilderness, and we used the principle to do that, and faith and unity, that now we're in settlement and we need different skills. We need different understanding. We need different abilities. We need different kind of people. We don't need soldiers. We need engineers. We need builders. We need doctors. We need teachers. We need to build schools and hospitals. And this is what we need for Chanilguk. We need to build a new culture. And that's what Mother's doing now, building Chanilguk. And when Mother, so Father, Heavenly Father's telling me, when Mother talks about the principle, you know, we don't need all of the principle. We needed that in the wilderness to fight those battles, to understand, to end restoration history. But now we need something new to become the builders of Chanilguk, and that's what we're doing now. And thank you. And second gen are the kids born in the wilderness that weren't attached to Egypt, so they didn't have that old attachment. And then plus the people who are joining now don't have the old attachment. It's just us first gen, the old wineskin people, who made it to Canaan. We're Caleb's, the Calebites following Joshua, who's our mother, and we made it out of faith. We're here now, and we have to make ourselves brand new citizens of Chanilguk. So what I'm trying to do is get rid of all the old army soldier stuff and become really and learn what it is to be a citizen of Chanilguk. And that's where I am right now. And I'm just learning. I'm just in the process of remaking myself, rebuilding my whole life of faith. And I was a Moonie, and back when I joined in the late 70s, we got these buttons. I don't know if Reverend Thompson, when you joined, it's a big white button that said, "I'm a Moonie and I love it." And if your spirit ever got a little bit low and you needed some excitement or action, you just put on your button and walk in public in the 70s, and very quickly you make a lot of new friends. Many people would come up and talk to you immediately and show you a lot of attention. So that's where I came from. But I was trying to think, what am I, if I was a Moonie then, because I was following Moon, which is a reference to Father, what am I now? What am I trying to be now? And I was thinking, what fits? And then I realized tonight, when I was praying to come up here, I realized, I guess now I'm a mommy. That would be an interesting button. I'm a mommy and I love it. But anyway, now I'm a follower of Mother, and with Mother, hopefully building Chanilguk. Thank you all very, very much, all of you. I'm so grateful.
Let's give another round of applause to Uncle Nate Winman. We're mommies. I'm also very moved at how Uncle Nate's so humbly relying on the Chonchimwan to find answers. This is the way that our true mother is guiding us. So let's receive one more time our Chonchimwan worship team.
I've been set free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Whoa, I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see you now. Oh, I can see the love in your eyes, weighing yourself down, raising up the broken to together. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Whoa, I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see you now. See the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, raising up the broken to life.
아버지, 어머니, Heavenly Parent, thank you. Amazing grace, how sweet it is. Omni, for 6,000 years we've been lost, but now we're found. True mother, true parents were finally found. We were blind for 6,000 years, but now we can see. Now we can see you, Heavenly Parent. We can see your fullness. Vessel, God. We want to go to Korea and see our true mother. See her soon. Heavenly Parent, we're going to represent you in your entirety, Heavenly Parent. We're going to be that shining light, Heavenly Parent, amongst the youth, amongst the Christians, Heavenly Parent. We're going to be with you, God. We're going to invite you, God. Heavenly Parent, we love you. Thank you. Together. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Whoa, I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. One more time. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved now offer our Chunshimwan resonance prayer. We'll offer 3 prayers tonight. The first prayer for 7 minutes will be for the sake of the worldwide providence and the unification of North and South Korea. Our second prayer for 7 minutes will be on behalf of all of Elder Sun Nation, United States of America, for Christianity and the next generation. And then our third prayer will be for 21 minutes as we pray on behalf of all of Los Angeles Family Church. This is our personal prayer. This is our time to chant 1,000 times the names of those whom we long to meet, long to reach, long to touch. It's our time to pray, time to connect with you personally. Allow our hearts to meditate with the healing power of our true mother's love, the Holy Spirit, as it comes down and blows its spirit into this place. But we begin now praying for the worldwide providence as we shout Aboji and Omani 3 times all together. Chonchimwan Resonance Prayer! Shita Aboji! Omani! pray. Centering and Chongshimon. Let's give our hearts to our heavenly parents and to our dear true parents as we sing. 어머니 역사하여 주시옵소서. 주님 주신 은혜 생각하며 오늘도 감사하며 나가리. 고난과 비바 기다리더라도 부모님 스스 위에 살리라. 신령과 진리로 나아가리. 부모님 모시고 나아가리. 아버님 역사하시니 곳에서 눈물로 간절히 기도하리. 주시는 기도로 나아가리. 주시는 기도로 나아가리. 주시는 기도로 나아가리. 아버지! 어머니 모시고 나아가리. 어머니! 아버님 역사하실 수 있도록 눈물로 간절히 기도하리. 중심원 기도로 나아가리. 부모님 모시고 나아가리. 아버님 역사하실 수 있도록 눈물로 간절히 기도하리. 중심원 기도로 나아가리. 중심원 기도로 again, let's give our best to our heavenly parents and to our dear true parents as we pray our second resident prayer. 합시 경명기도 시작! 주지옵소서. 용서요 주지옵소서. Let us raise both of our hands. And let's sing this with love. As we sing 나이제 기도하리라, we will pray for heaven. And we will pray for our heavenly parents. that our Heavenly Parents can freely come down here on earth without restriction, and that He can freely go wherever He wants. 아버지, 어머니, 역사하여 주시옵소서.
눈물로써 회개하오니 나의 부족함을 용서하시고 첫사랑으로 감싸주시네. 나 이제 기도하리라. 나 이제 기도하리라. 어머니 눈물 흘리신 이곳에서 나 이제 기도하리라. 어머니 안아주시는 이곳에서 나의 부족했던 지난 나를 이제 눈물로써 회개하오니 나의 부족함을 용서하시고 첫사랑으로 감싸주시네. 나의 부족했던 지난 나를 이제 눈물로써 회개하오니 나의 부족함을 용서하시고 첫사랑으로 감싸주시네. 첫사랑으로 감싸주시네.
사랑으로 감싸주시네.
As we prepare for our final prayer, I will read words from our true mother at the kickoff of Top Gun. She says, "Here, what matters most is that I believe in you, that I love you, and have raised you as very important treasures. The problem lies, however, in whether the environment where people can attend Heavenly Parent, the kingdom of heaven on earth, expands while true parents are still on earth. True Mother is now over 80 years old. I have to live a long life. But how much longer will I be able to live? When I ascend to heaven, I would like to be able to say with pride that you, the pure water, have become one with me and have expanded to a certain number among these 8 billion people of the world, the environment in which people can attend Heavenly Parent. Will you do this? I have waited so long to hear your beautiful, soaring voices. Thank you. As we reflect on our true mother's heart and we offer this 21-minute prayer, let us muster our total sincerity. Let us muster our total heart that we can have for our love for our true mother. And as we speak to our true Father in the spirit world, let us pour out whatever repentance, whatever gratitude, and let us fill ourselves with fresh determination as we shout Abuji and Omni, as we shout Abuji and Omni, as we shout Abuji and Omni, and allow the Spirit God to descend on this place. Chonchim One Residence Prayer. Shijak Abuji Omni.
This is not enough. This will never be enough. Please allow us to break through. Please allow us to surpass our own limitation. Please allow us to get saved. Lord, dear Shiva. Please allow us to bring back the essence of our Heavenly Mother. That has been forgotten. Heavenly Parent, this is just the start. As we start a Blue Dragon team from the bottom of our heart, we want to offer this condition. And we will never stop. Starting here in Blue Dragon Tour.
오는 통일 금에도 쏘는 통일 이 목숨 바쳐서 통일 통일이여 오라 이 결에 살리는 통일 이 나라 찾는데 통일 통일이여 쏘라 통일이여 오라. Let us offer a bow of standing gratitude to our heavenly parent and true parents. 전진 참 부모님께 경배. 바로 offer 4 cheers of 억만세. Save your voice. Let's do 4 cheers of 억만세. 1, victory for heavenly parents. 2, victory for true parents. 3rd, victory for Cheonilguk. And lastly, victory for Los Angeles Family Church. Are you ready? Victory for heavenly parents. Victory for true parents. Victory for Cheonilguk. Victory for Los Angeles Family Church. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for our Blue Dragon Evening Prayer Vigil. Let's give a round of applause to our Chunchimon worship team. Please have a good night. We'll meet back at 7 a.m. for breakfast. God bless you. Aju!